Hello friends, welcome back to our little coffee club. Before we get going today, I want to recap on a few things going on. First of all, the last September coffee that we reviewed, the red plum. I gotta say, you guys saw my reaction. It was absolutely fantastic. Here it is. Like I told you guys that I would freeze 100 grams. Here it is, ready to go. And we're gonna be comparing it. If nothing else pops up out of the woodworks here and becomes another contender, we're gonna be in January. We're gonna do the best of 2023, the best coffees that I had for the year, and we'll be comparing it with the Good Brothers Costa Rican technical processing. And by the way, don't confuse this coffee with this Costa Rican. This one is also a good coffee, but it's not, it doesn't have the technical processing. It doesn't have the processing that they put into this coffee. And I gotta say, this coffee, it elevated the highs and lows. Okay, so it became a bit more peaky and more depth of flavor, a lot of flavor. So this just became like my favorite coffee ever. So now, I didn't think I would find a contender this quickly, but this September coffee, the red plum, is also a processed coffee. I thought it was insanely delicious, and we'll compare them in January. If something else pops up here out of the woodworks, we'll freeze some of it, and then at the end of and then in January, we'll do the best of and compare them. Next year, since this is a new idea I came up with, I didn't think of it since the beginning of the year. I could have had a few other coffees here ready for that kind of showdown at the beginning of 24. But now in the new year, I'll be keeping an eye out and making sure that all the new coffees that I run into, make sure that I freeze some of it. And then at the end of the year or the beginning of 25, we'll do it again. We'll do the best of 2024 and what are my favorite coffees for the year. And if this is still the champ, I have tons of it put away, so I can always go back and compare versus this one, and we'll see moving forward. So today we're gonna review another one of the September coffees. I guess I'll just do them down the line. I'll just do this one. I'm not sure, if all of this is in, well, I think you could see all of them, but all right, so we did the red plum, fantastic. Today we're gonna do this one. We'll guess at the tasting notes. We're gonna do a pour over. Today we'll do it on the origami. We'll pull a shot of espresso, all that good stuff, and see how I like it. So one last thing, again, this Costa Rican is a new rose from Good Brothers. Check it out, it was wonderful. And the Mexican chapas, I finished it, but it was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. So both coffees, very good. Not quite at the level of these. These are just, again, just more peaky, more flavor, more intense, and maybe too intense for a lot of people, It depends on what you like. So this is a little bit easier to drink, wonderful coffees. And yeah, give them a try. I mean, they were fantastic. So today, let's go ahead and do this one. So I'll meet you guys at the other counter and we'll open the bag, take a look at the roast level. I don't know anything about it. I don't remember anything about it. So I have to look at the roast level, and based on that, we'll make a suggestion as to how to grind it and how hot the water and all that kind of stuff. And we'll try it, and if I have to dial it in from there, I will, and report back. So let's go to the other counter and do a pour over. All right, let's get started. And man, these people from September, man, you guys are killing me. They put on the label, I think this is one of the tasting notes, just like it happened last time, right? We had the plum, the red plum, and absolutely, as soon as I didn't even have to taste it. As soon as I brought the cup up to my face, the smell of plums was just so evident. and then, you know, the flavor and everything. So now I'm expecting apricot. Now, apricot is not a fruit that I'm as familiar with, but I do know that they taste somewhat like peaches, at least to me. That's what I would say, an apricot and a peach. They're very close. So, all right, so, but anyway, what can we do? Man, I don't know. You know, maybe on the last one, I'll have my wife put some kind of tape or something over it so I can't see it. These, I don't worry about this because it's so small that I can't read that unless I'm really trying to read it. So, but they put this huge label, apricot. So, all right, it is what it is. What are we gonna do? All right, let's work with it. All right, so we're gonna do a pour over today on the origami. We're gonna do the 20 grams that we always go with. Machine is warming up. Okay, let's dose out 20 grams. Today, I'm not gonna do so much explaining because again, last time it became like a really super long video and I had to split it into 2 videos and it got out of control. All right. Again, can't say enough of the quality bags, just like the Good Brother bags. You could keep your coffee in it. You know, you're gonna be fine a month and a half. I've even done it 2 months. I can't really tell too much difference as far as the flavor changing or anything like that. These are very high quality and they do have the zip lock, so you can keep your beans in here. You know, if you only have like 2 or 3 bags of coffee on hand and you have nice vacuum sealed containers like the fellow Almos that I have, that's fine. Obviously, maybe even better. But if you go through your coffee within a month and the quality of the bag is like this, you'll be fine as well. And I always have, you know, those things have coffee in them and I have more stuff to review. So it's just, I don't have 50 canisters. So the coffee's getting out of hand, out of control. All right, let's start the scale. Let's start the scale and dose out our 20 grams. So, you know, we have fun guessing at the tasting notes, but man, these guys are ruining my process here. Try to figure something out. All right, we got 20.1 gram. You guys know we check retention on this channel. You guys know that I do my pour overs usually with the Easy Presso K Plus model. I'm right at 7. That's usually where I start. I might go all the way down, you know. Well, for the triplet, it's even finer. For triplet, I usually go to maybe around 6. For mocha pot, around 5, maybe even 4.5. So it depends what you're brewing into. But for pour overs, especially on the origami, we'll start with 7 and see what we get. We're shooting for, you know, I always do a 1:15 ratio, 20 grams of coffee in, 300 grams of liquid out. We try to do that in around 4 minutes, something like that. And usually with the number 7, it's usually on point. Now, as far as the roast level, you know what? Let me turn on the lights before, because I saw it. It looks a little bit darker than the other one, but I don't want to mess up. Let me turn on the lights. We'll take a good look at the roast level. Let me put some here on the counter. All right, so there you see it. Now, I don't have it side by side with the other one, but I do see this is quite light, very light coffee. I would say it's a tad darker than the red plum, but again, they're not side by side here, so it's hard to say. Maybe we should put some on the counter and check it out. All right, so my memory did not fail me. This is the apricot, the red plum over here, and this is the apricot, and you could clearly see that the red plum is definitely a bit lighter. So, you know, should I make any changes? Let me think about it. All right, let me put everything back in the bags and I'm gonna have to check my 20 grams again. All right, I picked up everything, I put everything back. I have my 20.1 grams, is still exactly the same. Now, what I'm gonna have to do here, because we're gonna check retention. I mean, I know retention is not really a thing on the hand grinder, but we always keep an eye on it. You know, we did have, now I know that we put it back in here, so I'm gonna weigh it after I grind it. You know, after we did the Turkish coffee, something was going on, because for sure then we had some interesting results, let's say. If you haven't seen my grinding Turkish coffee with the K Plus, that's already on the channel. Look for the video. So far it's the only time we've done Turkish coffee, but I plan on revisiting that. I had a lot of fun making that one. Okay, so we're at 7. I'm not gonna make any changes. I'm gonna, let's bring the water. I'm gonna put the water at 97. It's still really hot. And I'm gonna grind at 7. I'm not gonna change that. And let's try that and see how it works. If I have to adjust, I'll report back to you guys. All right, that probably took about 30 seconds or so. I gotta be careful because last time you guys saw what happened. I still have that. Man, I gotta take that out. I'm I wanted to make that video, but I think I already talked about the blind shaker enough to discourage people from paying extra to get it, because I don't think it's worth it at all. As a matter of fact, I can't wait to take it off of there, so I just have to do it. The only time I kind of saw an advantage with the little blind shaker was for the mocha pot. And well, we'll talk about it another time. I'm not gonna let this video get out of hand again. Okay, let's see. Okay, first, I always check. You see there's still something in there. So always move the spindle, make sure it's loose to make sure you got everything out. You can tap it if it's on the cloth, but don't do it on your hand because the blind shaker will get loose, and then well, watch the last video. You'll see what happens. Okay, you see it's installed in there. You can see it. All right, let's see what we got. All right, 0. So that means what we put in is what we got out. It's exactly the same. So let's get our origami warmed up, and the carafe and all that good stuff, and we'll do our pour over. All right, I wonder if this apricot one is gonna be close to as good as the red plum. I don't know if there's any processing on this. I don't want to read the rest of the tasting notes, see if I can kind of guess at something else, because I don't know anything else about it. Just the apricot because it's huge. Okay, I got one of my Oreo regular V60 filters, because now that I got the Steadfast, I can use the other kind on the Steadfast brewer. Okay, I'm gonna back things up a little bit so you guys could see when I'm pouring a little bit better. Maybe from here. Okay, I think we're ready to go. The machine's already up to temperature. Well, almost. It's almost up to temperature for our espresso. Okay, let's rinse the filter, get things warmed up. I'm gonna put this off to, I usually like keeping it here, but I don't want the camera to focus on the wrong thing. Let's see what I do. Okay, we'll try this. We'll see how that goes. All right, that's gonna get everything hot. Let's pour the water into the glass, get the glass warmed up. I know that they sell some holders of the origami to kind of keep it straight, because that is one of the things that I'm enjoying about the Steadfast. Now that I've been using both, I go back and forth. I do kind of like the fact that the Steadfast is obviously it's just one piece, so it doesn't wobble around. Yes, the origami is beautiful. I love the way it looks like this on its wooden little stand, and it's part of the enjoyment. But workflow wise, I do see the point. The Steadfast, you just sit it there, and then you don't have to be trying to adjust and things like that. So. All right, let's get our 20 grams of this September coffee in there. So this is the last thing I do. I kind of tap it, make sure everything's in there. Just tap it like this on the side of the catch cup, and that's it. Everything's in there. Okay, we flatten things out. Now you don't get any clumps from the K+, but if you did, you could always do a little WDT in there, declump it. The last thing I like doing on my origami brews, I use a chopstick to create a divot in the middle. I got plenty of videos showing this already. And today, again, I want to keep things moving here. But basically, you just want to make a divot to pour into. Let the water go from the middle up, because that way everything will get saturated evenly. At least that's the idea. Okay, so now let's tear the scale. Okay, we're at 0. Again, we're looking for 300 grams. I do 3 pours of 100 grams each. And the timing wise between pours, you know, the first one usually takes about 45 seconds to draw down. The next one will probably be somewhere around 3 minutes or so. And then the last one will finish somewhere around 4 minutes. You know, we'll see the timing. Only the first one I know for sure, usually 45 seconds is drained through. On the second pour, I always do some agitation. So let's start the time. Okay. So we pour right into the middle and we start making little circles until we hit 100 grams. I think this is a good way to like get everything fully saturated right away. All right, let me show you guys a little bit of the degassing that's happening. All right, you see it there. So this coffee is quite fresh. Again, when these guys from September, they're gonna roast your coffee to order pretty much. So they're gonna ship out right away. And you're gonna have really fresh coffee on hand. Okay, so we're at pretty much at 1 minute. Let's do our second pour. I'm going a little bit slow because I was explaining and talking to you guys. So this time I just pour around, making circles until I get to 200. And this is where we do some agitation. Now, depending on how things go, if it slows down a whole bunch, then I won't do any more agitation. I just do a nice quick little swirl after the third pour just to flatten things out. If it's still draining like really, really fast, because it should slow down quite a bit once you do your agitation. Wow, it's still degassing. That means, you know what, all the coffee didn't get wet at the same time. Okay, as soon as I can see the top of the bed, I'll do the last pour. All right, we are at 2.5 minutes and I can see the top of the bed there, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the last 100 grams. So this time I'm gonna pour right into the middle and then do some circles. Okay, we're at 300 grams. We don't need the kettle anymore, so I can turn that off. One last swirl to flatten things out. Our timing is, kind of roughly what I usually get. I could see this finishing in maybe 4.5 minutes. For me, that's very acceptable for a light roast like this. If you want to bring up your acidity level, let's say you really enjoy like really high acidity, then you want to speed up your brew. If you want to get more sweetness, then you want to slow down your brew. Now, if you're getting any kind of bitterness, then you have to either lower the temperature or speed up your brew so that the contact time between the hot water and the coffee is less, to kind of like not over extract it, and you can get rid of the bitterness. If your coffee feels like weak and like under extracted and sour tasting, all of those are signs of, just under extracted. So therefore you have to go with hotter water, maybe more agitation, perhaps a finer grind. It's a combination of things to make your adjustments and get it to where you want to be at. All right, we're pretty much done and it's about to hit 4.5 minutes. Still dripping a little bit. Okay, that's pretty much done. I'm gonna call it at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. For me, that's very kind of normal kind of thing. That's a lot of times where I'm at. Now, depending, I might wanna slow it down further or speed it up. If I have like very little acidity, a lot of flavor, but very little acidity, I will go maybe to a 75 clicks, maybe even 80 clicks, try to speed it up by about a minute, and then give me more acidity, more brightness, And yes, I'll lose a little bit on the sweetness. So it's just a give and take, you know. But I'm usually between 3.5 minutes and 4.5 minutes. You know, I'm perfectly content. Let's try it here and see what we have. Let me show you guys what the final bed of coffee looks like. All right, there you see it. And muddiness level, yeah, a little bit, not, it's pretty good. Not like the last time that it was a lot more muddy, but so this one technically looks a little bit better, but again, last time the flavor, just blew me away. So yeah, we'll see, because what matters is the flavor. So, all right, let me clean things up here and I'll meet you guys at the other counter, and then we'll guess at the other tasting notes, I guess, and see how I like this one. All right, let's see what we're working with. Let's give it a swirl and serve. I'll make sure I got this. Yeah. Now I think 300 grams of coffee is perfect for me. It fills the cup up to where you're supposed to go twice. And for me, as far as pour over, for the kind of time that I spend on it, every morning is the perfect amount. Every now and then, I love making my afternoon brews when I have time for it. It's awesome. But cheers, I hope you guys are joining me here with something tasty of your own. So our second one here in September, from September Coffee. Okay, scent, the aroma, nothing like the other one. The other one, as soon as you bring the cup up, it just is evident. It just blows you away. This one, I'm not getting a whole bunch. There is like a sweet smell, kind of like when I've said this before, like, I don't remember which one it was that I reviewed that had like a big time, at least to me, big time like cookie smell, and this one is kind of like what I get, like a sweet cookie smell. All right, it is a, nice aroma. It's not like very extremely evident. You really gotta check for it. Wow, okay. Right from the first taste, I was not expecting this from these guys. I was not expecting this. Whoa, man. All right, let me try it again. Okay, it has a more like savory quality to it. But wow, a lot of flavor again. This is another coffee with a lot of flavor. I wouldn't say quite the same depth of flavor. Yeah, I wouldn't say quite the same depth of flavor, but this one's a bit cleaner. Could it be processed? Maybe. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. I gotta say, I'm really, really liking it. The red plum is better. It's better. But wow, this is not bad at all. This is really good. Man, Carrie, you did say that the September coffees were good, but I think you undersold it. You could have hey, they're more than good. These things are like great. So I've only tried 2 so far. We'll see with the last one. But this is great. This is a great cup of coffee. Wow. Carrie, you undersold it. You should have told me, look, drop everything, get some of this coffee, okay? It's pretty awesome, I do have to say. The red plum's a little bit better. This one, it's right up there too. It's really good. Okay, there's like a savory taste, like a saltiness to it. There's a hint, I would say there's some kind of like a little hint of citrus as well. well, I don't know if it's like berries or some kind of citrus hint, but there's definitely a quality of like a savory quality. Now, and the aroma is like that kind of like cookie thing that it's got going on. And again, you know, let's take a look. Let's take a look. That's what I get from it, okay? Yes, it's a nice smooth coffee. It does have highs and lows, but not quite as peaky as the Red Plum or the Good Brothers. That one just gave you that little bit extra punch. This one, a little bit easier to drink, a little bit smoother. Definitely highs and lows for sure. It does have acidity and brightness. It has sweetness. You know, would I have guessed that apricot? No. The other one, I definitely would have guessed plums, for sure. This one, would I have guessed apricot? Probably not. There is a fruitiness like berries. I would have not necessarily gone for apricot. But let's read the tasting notes. That's what I get from it. Let's read the tasting notes. All right. Let's see what this one has going on. All right, so this one is from Peru. Apricot cookie. So hey, the cookie, you know, as far as cookie, I'll give it to them on the aroma, which is what I thought. You do get like some kind of cookie going on. Other than that, there is a sweetness, but would I say cookies? No. Let's see, what do they have? What are the tasting notes? Okay, yellow plum. So plum again. Did I sense plum in this one? No, it's not evident. Baker's chocolate and apricot. So the apricot, you know, it's just, you know, the fruitiness to it. Plums, I didn't get that. And Baker's chocolate, I guess that would be like a dark chocolate, like some, I'm not getting that at all, but maybe it'll have it on the espresso. I could see the espresso maybe having that. I would say that based on the tasting notes, I should have detected like a lot fruitier coffee, a lot fruitier. And it's not what I'm getting. I'm getting more like berryness because there is some acidity there that's kind of like a citrusy kind of acidity, but not quite like, definitely not like grapefruit because that's like that really punchy acidity. And not as easy to like pick out like the, you know, like mandarin or, you know, I don't know. I would go with berries, more berry-like, fruity coffee, berry-like. So I would say that as far as the tasty notes, no. I got the cookie smell. I don't know if that counts, but I did get that on the aroma, at least to me. Fruity coffee, nice acidity and sweetness, not quite as peaky as the Red Plum, so a bit smoother, a lot of flavor, a lot of depth of flavor. Great, fantastic. Yeah. Let me finish this and then I'll see you guys at the other counter and we'll pull a shot of espresso, see what we get as espresso. Maybe as espresso, we can detect more of that chocolate. Let's see what happens. All right, so now we're gonna do the espresso part of it. Let me get a little bit closer to the lens here. Let me see how that looks. Let me get a little closer, maybe right here. That's good. Okay, we'll do it right here. Now that the coffee is cooling, I'm finishing it up here with you guys, but now that the coffee is cooling, I do see like, you know, that little hint of citrusness that I was getting, it's no longer apparent because I lost some of the acidity, right? But it has become a little bit fruitier, let's say, fruitier. Would I still say apricot? You know, no, probably not. I don't think I would guess at that, but I do see it changing. Yes, a delicious coffee. Regardless, it's great. Wow. You know, that savory quality to it is still there. Man, it's just something about it. And definitely the sweetness. Some of the acidity, again, it just leveled off as it has cooled. Let's see what we get from it as espresso. So we're gonna go with 18 grams like we usually do. Okay. All right, 18 grams exactly. Man, September. Wow, you guys came out with a vengeance here, man. What can I say? Again, Carrie, man, you undersold it. All right, 18 grams. Let's see what we get from the niche. You know what? Last time, because we were at 15 last time, and it was extremely fast. So, something's going on here with my niche. Oh, by the way, that reminds me. Okay, you guys are gonna see this weeks later. This happened weeks ago for you guys, but for me, it just happened this past weekend. Wojtek reached out and said he had noticed, man, you guys are awesome. I gotta say, my little coffee family, man, I'm proud of you guys. You guys really wow, look at what he noticed. And then he points out the one thing that I had not thought of. It's very obvious, I should have known, but I didn't think of it. And this is the main reason why I love making these videos, the interaction with you guys. When you guys comment below, it just makes me happy. And Wojtek, he pointed out, man, I noticed that ever since you did the back flush, I noticed that the lever operation on your machine has not been quite as smooth. Perhaps you need to lubricate it. And man, he hit the nail on the head. I was like, ever since I did the back flush, I did notice, but for some reason, I didn't make a connection right away. I didn't, wow, I should have known, right? But honestly, I didn't think of that. I didn't think how maybe the soap had washed out the lubricant, and then definitely, I did notice that it's stiffer. I didn't know why. I did want to look into it. I hadn't gotten around to doing it. But when he pointed that out, then I looked up some information, and sure enough, he got it spot on, man. So, pretty soon, well, for you guys, it'll be weeks. No, for you. Okay. Let's see, how do I phrase this? Okay, pretty soon I'm gonna record a video taking this apart. I'm gonna take the Bianca apart. Yeah, I know. Let me bring you closer. Hold on. Let me bring you closer. All right, I'm talking about the lever. Okay, so there's a little cam inside, inside the group head that, goes up and down, and it has lubricant on it. And doing the back flush with the chemical, it washed it off, and it's pretty obvious that is what happened. So you need to lubricate it. Now, I already have a food-safe lubricant and very high quality. I bought it for the niche, actually, not even for the espresso machine, but I can use it on the espresso machine. It's stable in hot water, and it's a good one. So I'll show you guys once I make that video. But yeah, so we're gonna have to remove, I know, this is a little bit scary, but hey, from the beginning, I wanted a machine like this because what makes it end game for me is the fact that you can take these things apart and you can get into it, and you could do whatever. So, for you guys, wow, I wonder if maybe I'm recording this now, but maybe I put that video sooner than this one, because I was gonna do it like one of those Friday videos, and I wanna get into this right away. I don't want more time to go by. So, I don't know. If you guys already saw it, then you know what I'm talking about here. If you haven't seen it, be expecting that video popping up very soon, because I'm gonna record this very, very soon. It could be the very next thing I record, where I'm taking this apart. You gotta get this bottom part off as well. And then you get to the little cam, you lubricate it. Since you have it apart, you might as well make sure everything's clean, and maybe you can, some people pour, you could remove this one as well and clean the needle valve, all that kind of stuff. I don't think I'm gonna do the top unless I have to. So I'll just check everything and show you guys, but it should be spotless. It should be spotless. This machine's still fairly new, and we just did one of those back flushes with detergent. So, all right, so very soon be expecting a video on how to lubricate the little lever. So if you haven't joined our little team here, please do so. You'll be helping us out a whole bunch. I want to eventually be able to do live videos. We need 1,000 subscribers to do that, and we're nowhere near. We are getting to the half point. So I think we have a good 150 maybe subscribers that are really into this coffee stuff, and you guys are my little coffee family. And thank you for pointing that out, Wojtek. I really, and Carrie jumped right in and she agreed, but And then she followed up. Recently she commented below the video with a lot of good information as to the detergent that she uses and some of the processes. But thank you guys. Thank you for the help, and be expecting that soon. I can't wait to get in there. It's one of the things I wanted eventually to do. So, all right, so let's keep going here with our puck prep. I almost forgot to talk about that. All right, so by now my scale timed out and everything, but I know I had 20 grams exactly, so now it's at 0. So after we grind and I put it back on here, it should be 0, no plus anything or minus anything. That means what we put in is what we got out, so let's see. But now, again, I was talking about the niche. I don't know what's going on with the niche, because all of a sudden, I had to go like coarser and coarser after I did my cleaning, and I figured it was when I did my calibration, I kind of tightened it a bit too hard, and then that was causing my numbers to like slot it up, but now everything's going back down again. Like, I don't understand. I just checked to make sure that everything's tight in there, and everything seems to be fine. But now I'm down to, today I'm gonna grind at 13. I hope I don't choke it, but last time we were at 15 and it was still like super fast. So I don't know, I'm gonna go at 13, see what happens. If we have to pull another shot, so be it. All right, 20 grams in. All right, here we go. Okay, you can see the roast level there under that lighting. That is quite light. Wow, that took long to grind, because again, we're at 13. There's one bean, I could see it. You see, that's why I always start it again, because that's what happens sometimes. If you don't notice there's a bean going on top, it didn't fall through. Okay, everything went through now. Give it a little love tap and let's see what we got out. It should say 0 when I put it on here. Bam! Wow, the niche on point. Okay, but again, the grind size, wow, it looks very fine. Ooh, man, I don't know, we'll see. I don't know what's going on, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, we're gonna start with the same declumping that we've been doing in the cup, because why not? Definitely channeling has been under control, it has not been a thing. Maybe we've gone, a channeling here and there. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I have showed you guys last time's shot, but if I haven't, I'll put it on the screen right here and show you guys what last week's shot in full screen so you guys could see how it went. I did not detect any channeling, but I did see like a few times, because the distance between the shot glass and the shower screen, and and the bottom of the portafilter it's so far that every now and then you'll get a little drop like kind of coming out of the cup, and you could kind of see it in the video. And that might lead you to think that it's channeling, but it's actually just little drops that are hitting the glass and bouncing back out. And so, I didn't notice any channeling on last week's shot. So I'll put it right here on the screen. That should be fine. And then we start our shot. It's gonna time it for you. So again, we're looking for like 40 seconds from first drip, or 45 seconds from first drip. And the yield should be somewhere around, okay, so wow, we're coarse. Holy cow, we're way coarse. This is not gonna work. Unbelievable. I'm not even gonna keep pulling that shot. This is not gonna work. All right, here we go. So when when the machine starts to build pressure, we'll close the paddle and kind of level off between 2 and 3 bar. Okay, here it goes. Okay, we're in between 2 and 3 bars, but we're getting quite a few drips. So I'm gonna ramp it up now, because we're almost at 3 grams already. So we got about a good 20 seconds out of it. Let's see if we can go to 9 bars. I can't believe it's still coarse. That is unbelievable to me. But we did get it to 9 bars, nice and slow. We're looking for 45 grams as far as the yield. We're almost there. All right, we're at 45.7. Look, the time will work flawless. Okay, 45.7 in 28 seconds. 45 seconds. This one's the total brew time, including the pre-infusion. And the other one, I think it was 20, now it stopped flashing. I think it was 28 seconds. That's from first drip. So, all in all, for most people, this is already kind of like a long shot. All right, I'm still enjoying the last of my coffee here. Just delicious, man. Wow. You know, it's still kind of warm. It's not at room temperature yet. I'm surprised. All right, so let's get this thing going. Maybe I should set up the camera a little bit different for this part. Okay, this is one of the good things about using the phone that, well, I guess with the other camera I could do it as well, but the angle's different. The phone is just sitting kind of like on the counter, and I could have done the same thing with the camera, so that's not an excuse. All right. Dosing funnel. We're gonna use the pasado now in the portafilter so that we can distribute everything, make sure everything's nice and even. The density of the coffee grounds is the same everywhere. Just making little circles. Start at the bottom, start coming up. Take your time. Again, this is just for fun. You know, if you're using a spouted, you know, you're not even gonna see the channeling or anything, but now that we are always on the bottomless portafilter, you know, I wanna give myself the best chance of not getting any channeling. So I take my time with the WDT and make sure everything looks good. Okay, we give it a little tap. And this is the end result. Look how nice and fluffy that looks in there. I think that's pretty nice puck prep, I must say. And now we temp. Today, should we go with the pasado? Let's go with the pasado. Again, with this one, I'm still practicing. I'm horrible at it. I just, with the one that came with my machine, for me, it just works. It just works awesome. But this one, because of this beveled edge, I just can't get used to it. Okay, I try to adjust it there at the end. I think, you know, I think today I did a pretty good job, but this is as far down as I've ever seen this thing. I mean, this is a pancake down there. If, if the machine doesn't choke today, I don't know what's going on with this September coffee. Why is it making me grind so fine? Again, I think on lighter roasts, you tend to grind finer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what I've been doing and what I've heard. So let's give it a little polish. All right, none of the coffee came up. Yeah, today, you know, this is the best job I've done with the pasado tamper up until now, I have to say. But this is way in there. If this doesn't choke, I don't know what's going on here. All right, let's get the puck screen in there. Again, this is the Norm Core 58.5, 1.7 millimeter thickness. That kind of fills it up a little bit more, so that makes it a little bit better. All right, today look, I remember to run it for a couple seconds here, get some of that really hot water out. Okay, let's lock in. Put the paddle at 5 o'clock, that's where we always start. Okay, so I'm gonna shoot for like 30 seconds of pre-infusion, and then maybe like another 30 seconds at 9 bar. We'll see, that's if it doesn't choke and we get nothing. So let me set up all the other angles and everything, and then we'll pull a shot of espresso. All right, I think I got all the angles going, everything is recording. Yep, and we're good to go here. All right, let's get the Kaya up here first. All right, I think I did a good setup with the cameras today. Everything looks pretty close and pretty good. All right, so we're at 5 o'clock. Let's get the shot glass up there. Again, this is the little bit scary part. It's so far from the, but we'll see. All right, let's get the shot going. Man, I wonder if it's gonna choke. Let's see. You see how the handle like squeaked a bit and stuff? Again, man, good catch there, Wojtek. You guys are awesome. Okay, we're building pressure. So let's stay around 3 bar. It wants to ramp up. I have a feeling this might not get anything out. Oh, we did. We got some drips. Okay, I'm gonna start ramping up. Take it up to 9 bar. Leave it right around there. Again, we're looking for 45 grams out. And we're trying to do that in about 30 seconds. Okay, I let it go below 9 bar there because I was looking at the cameras and all the other things, but actually we're doing pretty good with the timing. I like it. All right, we're gonna ramp down the pressure a little bit. Let it ramp down a little bit. Okay, we're about to hit. All right, we ended at 45.7, 72 seconds total shot time, but about 30 seconds of that was pre-infusion and 50 seconds was from first drip. So yes, that's a long shot for, you know, a lot of you guys, but again, I was looking for maybe 45 seconds. So I'm pretty much hit exactly what I wanted. So if I don't like the flavor, I can't blame anybody else except my decisions that I made here to pull this shot. So I think I was able to pull the shot exactly the way I wanted. Again, look, we're at 13 on the niche. Holy, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's up with this coffee. I have to grind super fine. So I'm at 13. Yeah, 13. And I got exactly what I wanted. So if I have to adjust from there, I'll report back to you guys, but let's go back to the other counter and give it a taste. Oh, by the way, I don't see anything at all here on the counter as far as like where I could have gotten some channeling. I don't know if you guys spotted anything, but I don't see anything here, so it's perfect. All right, let's give it a swirl. A little cookie smell is still in there, I gotta say. You still get a little hint of that. And the aroma. Wow, that's a lot of flavor. As far as the espresso, wow. It's, you know, it's the same thing as the pour over, just more intense. And that kind of makes sense. But it doesn't usually, in my experience, it doesn't always work out that way. Yeah, it tastes totally different as espresso and as pour over. In this case, not really. It's pretty much, again, the same thing, just more intense. The fruitiness is there. That savory quality. You know, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's, you know, that savory quality that just makes your mouth water. It's there. The acidity is there, but very well balanced. This, as far as like light roast, this is where I like to be. A shot of espresso, just for the plain shot, just a regular plain shot of espresso, this is hard to beat. You know, this is where you want to be at. You know, my assessment as to what you guys saw, we brewed it at 95. So that's where I go with the lighter roast coffees. And that long pre-infusion and the way I brewed it, to me is perfect. It worked on my favor. If you want to bring up a whole bunch of brightness and acidity with this coffee, instead of maybe do the pre-infusion just like 20 seconds and then do like a 30-second shot, for me, that will be just way too much. It'll just, I wouldn't enjoy that. I could be wrong. Now, I got it not too long ago. I don't remember. There was one coffee that I brewed and it just came out faster than what I wanted. And that time it worked on my favor. I was like, wow, maybe I've been wrong about this. I really enjoyed that shot faster. So this one, would I enjoy it more faster? I don't know. You just have to experiment. But it's hard to change from here because, again, it's pretty much perfect for what I'm looking for. And a straight shot of espresso. So why would I change it, you know? But if it happened to brew faster, then I would kind of see and compare. But Would I do that intentionally? You know, I'm not sure, because this is pretty wonderful as it is. As espresso, way better than the red plum. But what happened with the red plum is that I didn't get it right. It brewed too fast. And again, these lighter roasts is what I enjoy as pour over every morning. I make filtered coffee and I go through these coffees kind of quick, just making pour overs. And for espresso, like if I'm gonna make a milk-based drink, I wouldn't even use a light roast. I use something darker because I like a different taste profile for milk. But for the straight shots, this is what I prefer. But it's just that I don't make a whole bunch of it. It's like a weekend thing. You know, it's a weekend thing. I usually make coffee in the morning and then I do my afternoon brews as well. So today I'm recording in the morning, like real early. You know, sometimes I record 2 videos. Sometimes in the afternoon I record another video. Depends. If I have a weekend coming up or something that I'm gonna be out of town, something like that, I try to record an extra video so I can have, you know, the same amount of videos always in the pipeline, so I don't have to rush. I don't have to rush my video making. So it just makes things nice. I can keep doing this for long term. And you can always get a video every Sunday. You can expect it, it's gonna be there. The extra videos I've been putting up on Fridays, you know, are more kind of like, more like an experiment, you know, let's say an experiment for my like, you know, create something that is interesting to me and that I want little projects I want to work on, you know, those little cinematic, little short videos that I like making for you guys. You know, I like looking at that back and the way they came out. Oh, by the way, you know, the one that there was some trees in the beginning and rain and all of that stuff. It really was raining and I recorded that right out on my balcony. Those palm trees and stuff are right outside my balcony. So, you know, it started raining and it kind of like, it motivated me to make that little short video. I said, I want to get a clip of the rain falling and the leaves and stuff. And I thought it looked so pretty, you know. And that's what led me to making that video. It's called, what did I call that? Espresso for a cappuccino. Something like that. Relaxing video, something like that. So look for it. It's in my channel. It's only like 3 minutes long. But yeah, I recorded that right out on my balcony. It really was raining. Now, some of the rain effects, once I came inside and stuff, I like added that, kind of mixed it with the clip I recorded outside, the sounds and stuff, because it's too far to hear it that loud, but I wanted to still be able to hear it over the music. So that part is kind of a little movie magic, but the clip I recorded right out on my balcony, which I think is kind of, you know, interesting fact. Okay, September. All right, so today, obviously the espresso worked better than last time because it brewed better, more to what I like, and just awesome. The pour over, I'm still gonna say the red plum I enjoyed more. This, a close second. It's still pretty darn good. Not as good as the red plum. So, wow, what more can I say? September, good job, well done. You know, that Mexican Chiapas, very sweet flavor coffee and a lot of depth of flavor, the one from Good Brothers. You know, check out the review already on the channel. And, you know, the coffee is not very expensive. It's a great coffee to try for specialty. There's a lot to it. It was great. I really enjoyed that. But man, these September guys, taking it to the next level. This is some pretty good stuff. Sad to see you go, buddy. Would I say baker's chocolate? No. At most, I would give it like some salted caramel. I tend to guess at that because when I get like a little hint of like a caramel flavor, but it's got the acidity in the background and that savoriness that I'm telling you that the coffee has. That's why I go with salted caramel when it has those kind of qualities. And that's what I would give to this. It's not one of the tasting notes. You know, let's take a look again. Okay, so apricot cookie from Peru. Oh, I never read the whole entire card. We'll go through it now. So yellow plum, baker's chocolate, apricot. I would go as far as saying that it's fruity, and again, a little bit smoother than the red plum because it's not quite as peaky. You do get the highs and lows, you do get the acidity, you do get the sweetness. So it's all there, a lot of depth of flavor, just great. Okay, this one says processed, just washed. So, wow, wow. You know, I'm surprised. There's a lot of flavor here for just a washed coffee. You know, producer, Maximiliano Garcia and Esperanza Armijos. All right, so the varietal of the coffee, yellow caturra. Yellow caturra. You know what? I'm gonna take a picture of the little card. I'll put it here on the screen so you guys could read along with me. 1800 MASL. Again, MASL. I'm gonna say that's probably meters, you know, but you know, I don't know what the MASL means. I'm gonna have to Google that and look at it. The last one, the other little card said the same thing, and I wasn't sure what that is. I mean, I imagine it's 1800 meters. Okay, region, El Guabo in Peru. Okay, importer, Apex. It tells you again what they paid for it, all the disclosure of everything. Harvest 2022 and roast, medium light. Okay, so man, I'm making progress, right? This one just said light, this one said medium light. You could see the difference. You could definitely see the difference. Again, this one, I don't know. I don't want to read into it. We'll do this one next. All right, great coffees. You know, it was awesome spending time with you guys here once again. I try to keep you guys company for an hour or so, once a week. I put a new video Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. Please join our little team here. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. You'll be helping us out. Give the video a like, comment something below. The engagement between us is really what makes it worth it for me and my little coffee family. I love it when you guys at least, you know, drop in, say hello. Just say hi, give me a thumbs up emoji, anything, everything counts. John, I'm gonna work on that French press video for you pretty soon. And again, we're gonna get into the Bianca and do the lubrication of the lever and see how all of that works. I can't wait to get in there. And you guys will see it. You're coming along with me here for the ride. So join our little coffee club, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for spending the time with me. I really appreciate you guys.